Well, hey everyone, it's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you're at work, in the car, wherever you are, we hope you enjoy this show about the great sport of geocaching, and tonight other things too that are related to geocaching. If you're watching on YouTube Live, you can be a part of the show tonight. Join us in the chat room, participate with others as they watch the show. The link to the chat room is on geocachetalk.com. It's on the front page down below the show. There'll be a link that you can click on, and you can do that and participate with others as they watch the show tonight. If you're listening later, please give us a like, subscribe on your favorite podcasting app, and give us a good review, and ring the bell down here. Subscribe and ring the bell down here below so you can be reminded that you can get the weekly Geocache Talk goodness. A big thanks to the Travel Bugs for the music and our featured patrons, ADK Sarah, Eastern Girls, Billy Robson, Fox and the Hound, TX Wolf Totem, K-Blast, Statuki, Burnsfire, Hockey Zombie, Ship to Shore, and our new patrons, Florida TB Hunter, The Caching Dead, New York, Nakul, Udak, The Dig Family, JB Opto, NYJ Fan, Keeper of the Cash Flow, GeoVet 91, and Nitty Gritsky.
I like that one.
I know, isn't that crazy? A knitting and skee ball fan. It's a great one. If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Geocache Talk for more details. Patrons get the new blackout coins while supplies last. I'm showing one of them. Oh, Memphis has got his. I gotta make sure. Yep, he's got his. All right, good. While supplies last, we got some. Don't worry, but there'll come a point when we're gonna be out. So, all right. Other geocaching items during the year, we're sending out to patrons right now this year. So I feel like a PBS drive. This year's gift is the earring. No.
That's right. Gary uses it as an earring on the weekends.
Right. It's a zipper pull. You're supposed to hook it to like the zipper on your backpack, or
I even have one right here with a trackable number on it. Look, I'll show it.
Oh, no. You got one. Oh, you didn't do it. That's good.
That's somebody that belongs to somebody. We can't show that one.
We can't show that one. That's funny though. We're sending those out to patrons. Bonus content. We did a show with WV Tim recently, and only patrons have been able to see that so far. So if you want to be a patron, check out WV Tim talking about the new Gadget Geo Tour. We talked about that. We did a whole show. It was a whole hour show on that. So invite special events. We have a patron dinner coming up at Geo Woodstock, and we're up to now a lot of people. 75, I think, is our total.
That's going to be a blast.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have door prizes, and we're going to be joined by Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, and some of his patrons. So we're making a dual party out of this thing. So it's going to be great. It's like a whole event within an event. It's awesome. Anyway, support levels for Patreon for us start at the Bison Tube level, which is $3 a month. Well, let me welcome my host, Jesse, although tonight I'm going to refer to him all night long as Memphis. So welcome, my co-host.
I'm glad to be back. I was gone last week. Even though I lose my name again on another one of these episodes, that's okay. I'm just going to change my name to Memphis legally. It'll be just a lot easier.
That's perfect. I love it. Yeah. No, we had a fun show last week with Derek Baker. I hope everybody, if you haven't caught that show, definitely go listen to it. Derek did a fabulous job. We're not going to replace Memphis, but I mean, he did a fabulous job though. We had fun.
Easy.
No, we had fun. He gave some great gadget cache ideas, and we had a blast talking about gadget caches, but that was last week. So let's jump right into this week's show. Show 146 for April 28th. As we welcome to the show Jessie Maxwell of Snag the Tag. Welcome to Geocache Talk.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
We are too. We got so many questions. And I know people in the chat room are going to have lots of questions too, but we're really excited to talk about this new game and how it fits in with geocaching and so forth. And so it's going to be exciting to discuss that. But I do want to take a moment and we're going to do a little news. And then we'll get into the rest of the talk about Snag the Tag. But during the news, Jessie, if you want to pop in and say, comment, you're more than welcome. Don't feel like you're just there listening. So Jessie a lot of times is in the chat room. So it's a little weird, I know, isn't it, to be on the other side of the thing. So
it's great.
Good. Geo Woodstock update. I was going to have the latest will attend. I don't have it with me, but that doesn't really matter. The Geo Woodstock update. Oh, I know the item I want to mention. I want to mention two things about Geo Woodstock. One is that Memphis and I are doing the show Sunday after Geo Woodstock. We're going to be doing the show from the Adventure Maze. So got to be a first time, right, for a geocaching podcast to do a show from. I mean, the GPS Maze hasn't even been around for.
It's been around in a while, so
5 years. So I mean, anyway, so we're excited to do that.
First time to do a live show in front of people, so nothing could possibly go wrong.
Right, nothing,
nothing technical. Nobody streaking through the audience.
No,
okay.
Yeah, right.
Not that kind of geocaching streak while we're there. We got to keep this a kid-friendly show, guys. So
yeah,
we
need to hire some bouncers to stand in front so we don't get any kind of,
geocaching bouncers. Hey, we have Bounce and he'll be there. Does that count?
That counts.
Definitely.
That counts.
Yeah,
he can do it. Yeah. So anyway, that and the Midnight Madness event was in the past has always just been, people just told hey, come back at 8 p.m. and there'll be people here doing trades and doing coins and path tags and stuff. This year, they're actually got permission to kind of geocaching.com sort of bent their rule a little bit, and they're allowing this year to have an event. So you can talk about stacking. It's an event stack, but they're allowing it. So we're excited about the fact that they're going to do that. And it's going to be fun. It's in a different venue. I mean, it's like a full on other event. So we're excited about that. Memphis is going to try to swim across the lake, and we're going to have
roped into something. I don't know how I got roped into that, but
we're going to have a body cam showing him trying to swim. And
I've got a GoPro. It's waterproof.
GoPro and he's going to have to dig down and find a cache in the middle of the night with no light. It's going to be great. We're excited.
Again, what could go wrong?
I was going to say, nothing could possibly go wrong there, so I think you'll be just great.
That's right. Great. It won't be the first time I've almost died while swimming and geocaching. So,
right, perfect. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a funny time when you did that.
It's been more than once.
In Missouri, you did that once. So, okay, quick book update. I think both of our books are done.
Done.
Ordered
and done. Submitted, on their way.
Yeah. We think we both have. I know I'm looking kind of weird, but I've got a copy of mine. I think I put it back up there. Anyway, but next week we're going to talk about your book.
Yep.
Memphis. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah.
I might even be able to bribe the CFO to come on for a couple minutes.
Absolutely.
She helped me write the whole book. So
yeah, we can get Christy on for a little bit. I mean, we get around for Podcast of Hope. Just tell her we're gonna do that, and then we'll trick her.
Yeah, I ask. I don't really tell her.
Right, you ask. That's true.
Sound all good, but I'm gonna ask her if she'll come on the show. We'll see.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about Challenge Book next week. The 201 Geocaches to Find Before You Die. Second edition is available on Amazon. I know Jesse or Memphis hasn't put his on. It's out there, but it hasn't been gone
Mine will be
live yet.
available starting that weekend.
Okay, that's cool. I went ahead and stuck mine out there, but we both will have books at Geo Woodstock. You can buy the updated. And what I did with 201, the 201 book, is I updated it, took all the caches that are no longer in the top 20 of whatever list, and I put them at the back of the book. So the book's actually a little bigger now. It has more than 201 geocaches defined. So that's my joke every year. Is it's not really 201. It's always some other number, but it sounds good.
But 201 sounds better. So
it does. It sounds instead of
I know you had to go changing things on me. I was really trying to work through that list.
I know. Well, I think the popular ones are. Well, no, you found Sodak Zax. That's on the list this time. So.
Oh yeah, so that wasn't on the old list. Yeah, I did get that this last weekend.
Yep. Which we'll get to here in a moment. Okay, quick card game. The card game is done. It'll be at Geo Woodstock, but I'll show it real quick. GC World is now available. Ooh.
That's too cool.
So, and it's got geocaches. I don't want to show you all the. I should have just pulled up Mingo because
don't give it away yet.
That's an easy one. It's got little wild cards in it. Cache is missing. So there's little tweaks to the game that I added in to kind of make it
you can definitely see a card game at the brewery event happening.
Yes, absolutely. But they're nice. This is the Gadget Cache. If you get the Gadget Cache, it like counts for other ones, so it's kind of cool. So, but it's if you can see you hear it. Hang on.
It's the kind you would put in your spokes as a kid.
Yep. You hear that?
Yeah. Please explain what you just did for audio listeners.
It's a riffle.
That's not right.
It's like a riffle shuffle of cards. So they're like
there you go.
Because
they can only hear the sound. They didn't know what you were doing. So.
Yeah, what is that? No, I was just showing that the place I got them done did a great quality work. They're I wasn't sure when I bought them, because you don't know. They're supposed to be the thickness of a playing card, and they are. So it's perfect. So awesome.
The sound test.
They did pass the sound test. All right. So Memphis, you had something you want to mention about a cache.
Oh yeah. So not the previous weekend. I'll mention that in a minute. But this last weekend, I came across one of the new virtual reward caches. I guess they're still new. They're newer than all the other virtuals. So
I think they'll always be new. It's kind of like old Coke and new Coke. It's kind of like.
But it was GC7 B6NY. Can you translate that for us, Gary?
Bison 6 Nature Yuma.
It's called Mother Cabrini Shrine. It was down outside of Golden.
I'll get better.
List there, yeah.
I get better at the list as we go, but
so this was a virtual, and not surprisingly, it was by a cacher, and I'm just going to have to spell it because I don't know if it stands for something. I have a guess, but I don't know what it stands for.
Right.
UCIPHD. So that may be like a university professor, but if I guess, I'm just as likely to be wrong. So, but anyway, it was a virtual, and it was a walk up some steps to the top of a small mountainous hill, 372 steps up, and there was a shrine at the top, and it was there was like a temple type deal around it, and that was pretty neat. But that's pretty standard for virtual, even though that's a really good place to take one. Not a McDonald's chair, but some kind of shrine at the top of a hill. That's a pretty neat place to take somebody. The neat thing about it was at the end, the verification process.
Oh, so yeah. I'm looking at it now.
Two main questions. One was to get a name off the 372nd step, which was clearly marked. It was easy. And the other one was to get a name off of a bench that was right behind the tower at the top, the shrine at the top. And then you took the one name, the second name, @gmail.com and sent in an email. That was the address. And if you sent it into that, it automatically generated a response. You put your name in the subject line and it automatically generated a response saying you got it right. Congratulations. Go ahead and log it. So the owner has these automatically. So that's how everybody logs it and does a verification right there. Cool. So I thought that was pretty creative that they did that. I haven't seen that before, but so I mean, he can easily tell who sent it in because you don't send the email if you don't have the answer. and it automatically tells you immediately that you got it right. I got it wrong. I spelled it wrong. So I still had to email the owner, and he goes, yeah, you spelled it wrong, but those are the right answers. But it was neat because I got to talk to the owner and go, hey, this is really cool. You mind if I mention it? And he did say it was okay to mention on the show, but I thought that I haven't seen that before. That was a really neat way to verify and get an automatic response for somebody. So people are so creative. It's amazing how creative people can be.
That is a great idea. You know, Jessie is fortunate. She lives up in the great Northwest, near headquarters. You probably see you're kind of spoiled up there, Jessie.
No kidding. Super spoiled. I forget sometimes what a gift it is to live in the Pacific Northwest and be a geocacher. Just the sheer number of events and new caches and just general geocaching excitement and knowledge, and how you can make streaks go on forever and ever.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm jealous. We had a little pre-show just to kind of do a checkout of sound and stuff, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's like whenever there's not an event in town, it really makes me mad." It's like, Jessie, you got to stop that, girl. You make me mad now. I'm glad that y'all have that. Well, both of y'all have events all over. I mean, I have events, but I got to kind of drive to get to them. But all right,
I'm spoiled where I am too with events. Colorado is covered up with them all the time. So
that's true. You guys are both in great parts of the world. So, okay, Jessie's trip update.
The reason why I wasn't here last week, right?
Yeah, the reason you weren't here. Give us a quick update on how that went, because it's pretty incredible.
Obviously, I always like to be here for the show, but every once in a while we have to go geocaching. So it was a great trip. It's me and 3 other guys, and once a year we go and we just push the limit every year and do a weekend of geocaching. That's just whatever extreme idea that we can come up with. So this year we wanted to go up there and hit around Zach's area, Sodak Zach up in South Dakota. Obviously one of the number one things we wanted to hit while we're up there is his cache, that one that just keeps climbing the charts. And I've read a lot about it. He's talked to us about it, and there's a reason why everybody favorite points that cache. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's great, and it's right outside his house, and it's one of those that makes you laugh, right? If you get to a cache after finding thousands of them before, and you go, "Oh, that's fun," you're just laughing out loud.
Right?
You've done something as a cache owner. So I'm not going to spoil it. He's told us, about it before, so I kind of knew, so I stepped back and let my friends dive into it and find the surprise, and it was hilarious. Awesome. But I think I still have some glitter on me, but that's a different part of it. But
right,
but that was
never goes away.
That was on Saturday evening, and so after that we hung out with him and his fiance.
Yep,
for a little bit. They cooked us dinner, and we got to hang out, and, take a good break for a minute. And he kept offering to let us use his shower, but I think it was because of South Dakota hospitality, or we just all really stink. But,
I think y'all really stink because
I think it's both, actually, because they cooked us dinner and offered us, food and drinks and all those stuff. So that was great, and invited us in their home. So that was great. But and then after that, we went out and found 115 Warregos that night and a bird geo art.
Incredible.
After dinner.
Yeah.
And but so the basic idea was 3 nights sleeping in a car. We slept in the car. We just found our last cache, pulled over on the side of the road, reclined the seats, went to bed, got back up, kept going. We had communication between us all nonstop, and we were just jumping and running the whole time, and it was a lot of fun. We got 4 first to finds because of Cashley. Woohoo!
Go Cashley.
Yeah. We'd have this specific path, right? Because we're hunting all these certain things, and we have a tight timeline. And every once in a while, somebody go, "There's a first to find. Turn right." We'd shoot over and get one. We got like 2 traditionals and 2 multi-cache first to find. So that was great. I even published 2 earth caches already from that trip. Some things we saw. We still covered 7 states.
Yep.
Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. 55 counties in one weekend.
Wow. That's incredible.
So they were suffering from the floods that came through. Remember the big storm? Well, that turned into floods. So and we got tons of pictures and video that we took, but we had the drone up and everything, so it was a lot of fun. But you'd go down a road, and it's a dirt road that you've been going down for miles, and all of a sudden it would be just washed out.
A lake.
It looked like you came up on a lake, but it's like
Right.
cornfields, but it's a lake. It's water everywhere. So you have to just stop, back up, turn around. Luckily, we rented an SUV and a truck to go. We only got stuck once, but just road closures everywhere. So we got almost 1,400 caches total, covered 2,000 miles.
That's crazy.
Again, 55. We did a lot of that patchwork where you go up and then go over and then go up and over to get counties. And probably got a total of about 10 hours of sleep over 4 days, but it was great. Now it's something I only want to do once a year because it's kind of like Vegas. You go in a couple of days, you're like, that was awesome, but I need to leave.
I need a break. I need a yearly break
then,
from that.
About a year later, you're like, I need to go there again. So we haven't even started planning next year's yet because we're all too worn out from it. But
wow,
it was a lot of fun. It's a fun way to all the guys meet up and go and do that. I say guys, it's not always only guys. It was all guys this year. But it's a fun once a year, just total power caching weekend. So
wow,
it was fun. Now we have another
awesome.
year. We can rest up and just do regular caching for a while.
You here for that one, Jesse? You want to go do that with the?
There you go.
Sign
4
me up.
days, no problem. Get really gross and stinky. No, it's not always that kind of deal. That one year was the kayaking in the Everglades. That was pretty fun.
Wow.
But you got to have something to look forward to, right? Big trips. So
Definitely.
But that's it. That's all we did.
Yeah, that's all he did. Yep. I mean, well, yeah.
Nothing much.
Nothing much. All right. Last update. When we get to the show, I promise people are like, get to the show, Gary.
Like, come on. We're just teasing them. We're making them wait.
Make them wait. Just a quick update. Susan and I did another little small run this weekend. We did 11, I think, but we're up to 137 counties of 254 for Texas.
That is so impressive. You've been wearing that out lately.
We are, and they're a long way away from me. I mean, it takes 1,000 miles. You can get only 26 counties in 1,000 miles. So, yeah, so it's a little bit daunting. I'm putting my plans together for all of the West Texas counties, and I was looking before the show that my house to El Paso, I could almost drive from my house to Jesse's house in Colorado in the same amount of time, or same amount of miles, I should say. Is almost not quite, but from me to El Paso, I can drive all the way to Colorado. But we're planning on a longer trip to do that, and it's just I want to do a show sometime and talk more about some incredible Cachely is incredible. I downloaded the new premium map, which I don't know what I was waiting for. I was just slow to the game, but it has county lines on it, which makes Cachely even greater than it already is. Project GC. I know a lot of people like GSAC. Memphis and I are huge Project GC fans, but you pull up a county. Are you a fan, Jesse, of the? Big time. So and then I've gotten into using Cache Tour TUR.no from Norway. Are you familiar with that, Jesse?
Yes, it's great.
Okay, yeah. I now, and again, I'm I'm not the quickest. Sharpest knife in the drawer. But I was thinking the other day, I was like, I could put my home as a final, because I was trying to factor, okay, how long would it meet? Because I get back for a show. I got the show I do every Sunday night. I don't know. So I started using my home and where we're staying as waypoints or as you can put them in as however you want in Cache Tour. But I do that. So now I've got a better idea. So I can get home at a decent time to make it for the show. But anyway, those three apps are incredible. So, all right.
Hold on.
It'll tell you if you're behind schedule. That's so amazing. It'll tell you if you're a few minutes ahead or 4 hours behind, which is
right.
me.
But at least right?
Exactly.
And it's amazing the tools that are out there for just the different ways you play the game, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
Absolutely.
So Gary, I have to say you have definitely been more inspired while you're working on this than you have been on caching since I met you the first time at that other Woodstock, right?
That's
But,
right.
you have been going after it since you've decided to go after this challenge. So
Yeah,
it shows the power of that, right? Something that inspires you again.
it really is, and and like you said, yeah, and that's I think for we got to do for another show as well. Take a sip of whatever you're drinking out there, folks. But I think that there are times when we need to step back and maybe look at something a little different. And
Mhm.
this has been fun for different reasons. Susan loves to take flower pictures, and you know, we're enjoying the process of doing of driving all weekend,
Oh
but
yeah.
we're having fun together. We're getting out and finding some cool caches, and it's addicting. County caching can be addicting. Super Nate can tell you that. Charles Watkins can tell you. Anybody else who's ever done counties? Oh, you did counties this weekend, Memphis, or last weekend. I mean, you start looking at counties and you go, "Ooh, well, how many counties is there in my state?" And
Oh, yeah.
Katie, Geocaching Katie's doing Georgia some, trying to get all the counties. But have you done all the counties in Washington, Jesse?
Not yet. Not yet. There
But
is a challenge out there for it, but I'm working on it still.
right. But it's a cool idea, right? I mean, it's something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever inspires you to get out there and have fun again, right? There's always got to be something new. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
all right,
Let's get into the.
teased them long enough.
We got it long enough. So, yeah, Jessie Maxwell's with us. We'll get to her all the snag attack stuff. We're still going to not talk about snag attack. I want to talk about Jessie Maxwell for a little bit. Tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit how you got first involved with geocaching.
Oh gosh, that is that's when I lived in Michigan. Actually, I'm originally from Seattle, but I was living in Michigan for a time, and I worked at a nature center there. And every fall we would get together and decide, what kind of new programs we should offer. And one of my coworkers, my friend, was like, we should really do a geocaching class. And we all at the table just had a resounding no. Nope, that's stupid. Absolutely not. I don't even know what that is. No, absolutely not. And then we moved on. And then the next fall after that, he's like, I still think we should definitely do a geocaching class. I think people would really like it. And we're like, no, we said that no last year. It's still stupid. I still don't know what it is. And then
awesome.
Right after that, we got a call from a school that said, do you think you could offer an after school geocaching club for our second graders? Because they're learning how to do orienteering and math and that sort of stuff. And we were like, absolutely. What a terrific idea. Let's do it. And then then I thought, well, I guess I probably had better go geocaching before we actually start teaching children about geocaching. And my friend said, all right, let's do it. And that was February in Michigan. There was a foot of snow. My first cache was a multi where the second waypoint was on a park bench underneath. So we had to completely dig it out of the snow. And then after that day, I haven't missed geocaching for more than 90 days.
Wow, that's awesome.
I was totally bitten. Yeah. And
that's awesome.
I'm originally from here, like I said. And so we moved back after my husband was done with school in Michigan. And it's such a treat living out here in Seattle where you come across lackeys all the time and you have really cool events and just all kinds of neat opportunities for geocaching.
I know.
Do they have geocaching in Seattle? I wasn't sure if.
I think since headquarters
heard of it out there, maybe.
Since headquarters is there, I think they've hidden a couple.
Oh, that's right. It is there, isn't it?
It is.
I would lose my mind if I was that close. I'd be.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here again. What are you doing?
Right. Yeah, you'd be like, you've got to leave. You've got to go do something else. You can't hang out here at headquarters.
What today, guys?
Well, but you can watch the screen. You can see all the ones of people, and you need to go home. So,
yeah.
And they come to events, all the lackeys. They're so gracious, and they really help promote the game that they're all a part of, and it's really fun.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, she's making us all jealous. She's hanging out with mountain bike and she's going to all this stuff. You know, she's hanging out Brian Roth. You know,
Mountain Bike's 20,000 cache was my birthday event.
Oh, that's cool.
How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's enough of you.
Mic drop.
Yeah, Jesse's off the. No, I'm kidding. All right, I want to get into Project Ape a little bit more later, but at least let people know you're the director this year, right? Of Project Ape.
The Ape
That's
Queen.
all?
Well, for the
Ape Queen.
Mega. Yeah.
Yeah, for the Mega. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yep, it's our 10th anniversary this year, which is so exciting that it's been going on from when the cache was there,
right,
and then it was gone and reimagined, and now it's back, and all the way through the Going 8 Mega has been there, and we're trying to add some new special things this year because it's to celebrate its 10th anniversary. Plus, keeping, of course, the things that are just wonderful about it, like the Ape Cache and the Fen Dweller inside the tunnel and things like that.
Cool.
But cool. We're doing some things that we've done before, but a little bit different, and some things altogether different. Like the lab caches are going to be through the new app this year, so that'll be a little bit different than we've done. The Spot the Ape game will continue, but this year we're doing it through Snag the Tag, which is going to be so exciting. And it'll add a couple extra game playing elements to it. There'll be some teams involved, and you'll be working along with the people in your team, even though you might not know them personally, but you can meet them up at the event, which is new and cool. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Awesome. Yeah. We'll come back to talking a little bit about Project Ape when we get kind of a little further in on talking about Snag the Tag, but and then lastly, we're going to do a show about this. Memphis and I talked about this already, but Jessie works at the Woodland Park Zoo.
I do.
It's awesome. We love zoos.
We're big zoo nerds.
We are huge. Jessie and I, Memphis and I, are huge zoo nerds. So we're gonna work because we talked about before the show that there's zoo and geocaching. So it's done. There's going to be a geocaching. There's
definitely going to be a show on that.
Definitely.
Mark it up.
Right. Mark it down. Jessie Maxwell will be back. We'll talk about the zoo. So, all right. So Snag the Tag. I've only heard about it recently. How long do you think that Snag the Tag has been around, Jessie?
That's a great question. It's been rolling around for about a year officially. There's been different iterations of the same game for a few years, but it has officially started, I believe, a year ago to get ready for the GeoCoin Fest that was here in Seattle last year.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And that's kind of when it really took off.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And now we're and I guess it's we could almost look at it from each game series. Is that a way we could kind of look at that? And we just finished the Urban Ninja series. Is that correct?
The Urban Ninja Apprentice series.
Series. Okay, cool. Yeah. And Memphis got to hide one. We're going to talk about that here in a moment, but kind of tell people give them the old, what they say is the 40,000 foot level. Give them a really broad overview of what Snag the Tag is, and then we'll kind of get into the meat of it.
Yeah. It's similar to geocaching. There is a hider, and different from geocaching, there is one finder. And when you are a finder, you trade in what you find for a trackable geocoin.
Cool.
That's the super elevator pitch.
Right. And you get to review them. You're the reviewer.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. So so far, how has that been going? I don't want to get into too many details of that, but have people started to figure out, okay, now I know what to do? And if you had a lot of questions, did you have a lot of questions early on about, I don't know what I'm doing?
Yeah, a little bit. The nice thing is we put the hiding parameters very similar to geocaching hiding parameters. And when you're a hider and you buy a hider packet and it arrives to your house, you get your, at least with the Ninja one, I have my Ninja one here. It's the Ninja training manual. And
Cool. I
it
love
has
it.
all of the instructions here of what you're supposed to do. First, how you log into the website. How does this all look? What do the hides need to look like? What are the things on the page that you need to put in as a hider to help people find them? Because the ultimate goal is, of course, for people to find them.
Right.
And certainly, as each game gets rolling, there's a lot of logistical questions, but people get going after a while and they know what to do. They know how to hide. They think of some really great places to hide their tags and or their backpacks, as the case may be.
Right.
And it gets humming along pretty well.
Very cool. Yeah. So Memphis, since you're coming from a whole different perspective of it, and the fact that you and I were like, we're on board, but we have no idea what we're doing.
Oh yeah.
And so
it was very helpful to get to go and be a part to hide one, to kind of see what was going on, to get signed up. And I think it'll be very intuitive for people that are geocachers, right? The process is kind of similar, and and I don't want to tell me what I say that's wrong. I only have one piece of experience with this, but you hit it, you set up a page for it. It's got coordinates on there, and you do some pictures, so you can add pictures as clues and things like that. And then I don't know the schedule of this, but they all kind of come out at one time or something.
That's all.
It doesn't come out immediately. It comes out like on a schedule.
Yes, the program calculates it, and we can set it on the back end. And that's the neat thing. If you are running a game, they have different parameters on when they publish, and the system does it. For our Halloween game, the tag haunts, the soul catcher coins that they made, they all published at night. So that you had to make sure that you hid things in places that you can go at night. And then we would just, sometimes it's 2 or 3, even 5. Sometimes over the weekends we do big publish like slews so that there's a ton of tags published. But then it calculates distance, and so rather than if there's one hider who is hiding all of theirs in the one weekend, we don't want them all to publish at the same time. We want a diverse array to keep the map spread out and going. And so the system will figure out, okay, we'll publish this one, and then the next day this one and this one, and just to keep everything different.
Yeah. Well, we're going to look at the map here in a second. Memphis is going to bring that up, but so
I want to say too that it was interesting because and I think if I understand right, this is the idea behind the game. But so I got to hide one, right? I haven't got to find one yet, so I'm waiting for that experience. But I got to hide as soon as I knew it was submitted. Just kind of like when you're waiting on reviewer approval, you know when it's going to come out. And then when it came out, I was waiting. I was like, oh, when's somebody going to find this? It didn't take very long, but it's just like when you hide a cache, and that's one of the things I love the most about hiding a cache is you're waiting on that first person to find it. Yes. And it's like all the anticipation. You're just like, oh, come on, who's going to get it first, Or did I mess something up? But it was so simple. I knew I couldn't mess anything up. It was just coordinates. So I had it, and there was pictures even to help too. But that was a very exciting part of it. And it's that exciting part you get every time you hide a cache, but somebody's going to go out there and find it, and it's a race.
Yes. Some
areas are FTF crazy.
Oh, crazy. Yes.
And I'm in one of those, so I knew people would be racing for it like crazy. So that was fun for me from the background. So that was definitely being a hider is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's that perfect level or balance between stress and excitement, because you're like, oh, did I do it right? I think I did. I think it's just fine. I think they're going to like it. That same anticipation when caches come out, like you said. And yeah, I have been at an event before where it wasn't a necessarily Snag the Tag sponsored event. It just happened to be a meet and greet event. And one tag was hidden near outside, and it published in the middle of the event. And one cool thing about the Snag the Tag site is that you can set notifications notifications for your area for when
sweet.
things publish. Because, here in Seattle, I might not need to know when a tag publishes in Denmark, but I certainly
Sure.
need to know when there's one by me. And so you
Right.
can set that parameter up. And it was funny as, I hit publish and
Right. Sneaky.
and then everybody's got their phones. They're like, oh, and then they jumped up and ran, and one person got it. It was really cool to watch.
That's
was
funny.
So exciting.
I've got the notification turned on for the whole state of Colorado for me. If
Yep.
anybody has one in Colorado, I'm going to know about it.
You're on it.
Hey, boss, I gotta leave for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah, I might be back in 3 or 4 hours.
It is like Highlander. There can only be one.
That's
Be
right.
one.
Yeah.
And,
So-
and I'm sure and maybe you won't bring it up, but I'll bring it up. One of the best things about this, that's one of the negative things about geocaching, is cache maintenance. Ugh, I hate doing it.
Yeah.
You'll
There's
never
no
have to
cache
do that with
maintenance.
this, so that's kind of a cool part of my. I know
It's
that
right.
sounds terrible, right? But some people like cache maintenance. I don't. It's
That's true.
terrible.
And one of the neat things, like you're saying about FDF, and I was thinking about this last week when I was watching the show with your guest from last week, who was really inspired by the stories behind things and the stories
Yeah.
of people finding them. That's
Mhm.
one of the benefits of you alone get to have the experience of finding that one tag, but then you can meet up with someone else who found another tag who has a different story. And that's another neat thing about having each tag have a page similar to geocaching. You can write your story and everybody can see how the drama unfolds.
Right.
I'm sure there'll be a Facebook group in no time for people to share the stories.
Oh, yep, there definitely is one.
There probably
For
already is,
every
I don't
themed one.
Yeah. Maybe we can share that. Maybe we can put in the show notes, Jesse, later. Put the Facebook, the public Facebook group. Can we do that later?
The
Definitely.
Master
Right.
Ninja
We're in
Hiders,
there.
or
Yeah,
the
well,
Master Ninja Snag the Tag community. That's one.
Yeah. Let's put that one out there, and I'll put we'll put in the show notes, and we'll have it out there for people to see. But, so Memphis, anything from the chat room you wanted to mention at this point, or do you want to wait on that?
The general stuff, we're going to get to it though. People want to know how to become a hider,
Okay.
how to sign up and do that kind of stuff. And I know we're going to get to that in a few minutes here. So
Yeah. Do you want to at this point, Jesse, do you want Memphis to pull up the screen and show kind of the basics?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So-
I'll navigate to the screen and you just have to walk me through it because again, I have the one experience with it. So
Yeah. You go to snagthetag.com. That's pretty easy. And then you create a username and a password. And it really, the page is brilliant. It's very simple and it will walk you through all the things that you need to do. When you receive your hider packet in that Ninja training manual over here, you have a hider code and you type that in and already the site knows who you are and knows which coins you and tags you have been assigned because everything is numbered. And when you get a hider packet, like in the ninja example, the one that just concluded, this is the apprentice ninja here, and you can tell because he's got some red gear and his backpack is red. You got this set to keep for yourself as a hider, and then you had 2 backpacks to hide. And then the people who found those got their ninja in the mail. And so it's already preloaded in there for you. Which one is yours to keep, which 2 you're going to hide, so that when you hide it, you don't have to try to remember which one it is. You can say, okay,
Right.
click on this one. This is the one that I hid, and this is the description that I planned out for it.
Very cool. All right. So
all right, can you see so I'm on snagthetag.com now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Urban Ninja. That's the one that's just done, The Apprentice.
Yes.
it says game is over. But Jesse, can Memphis actually still pull up the map? Is that what? There's the map down there. Okay. Go down a little further, Memphis.
Okay.
And then do you scroll out a little bit to see, or scroll? You have to scroll in. Yeah, there you go.
Well, there's no active ones out there right now, though, right? Because we're in between
Right.
promotions.
And if you right now at the top, well, I was pointing with my mouse. That's not
Yeah,
helpful.
that's okay. Yeah.
At the top, the little images on the map are themed. That's one of the other fun things about this, is that each little portal into the game is themed. So with the ninja one, the little markers on the map are stars, and they're different colors. So the new ones, the claimed ones, the possibly missing ones, those are all different colors, and it'll auto set to all of the claimed ones shade away. So I believe if you click on the claimed, it'll bring those back.
Yeah.
Up.
So there you go.
Okay.
So there's wow. It's a whole bunch of them. There they are.
So there's the one right there. If you can see that, that's the one right where I hid.
That's when you hid right there. So can you click on that one, Memphis?
Looks like it.
Oh, there you go.
Who's that scary dude?
Who is that guy?
So yeah, at each page, you can see at the top that you give it a title, just like you would a geocache.
Mm-hmm.
There's the tag number that was specifically assigned to you in your hider packet. Then you put in the coordinates. You can add things like parking coordinates or trailhead coordinates, just like a geocache. And then you can add your description, whatever you would like it to be, as long or as short as you would like it to be. And you can add a photo. We ask that you at least do one. It doesn't have to be a spoiler photo, but we give you an idea of the average DT rating that your tags should have per game. And again, we're talking about lots of different types of games. This particular one, we're doing it in the wintertime, so they weren't going to be big hikes through the woods, because those are pretty inaccessible generally during the winter.
Right. Gotcha.
So these were pretty easy-ish hides, 1.5 type thing. And then you add whatever photos that the hider would like to add. And then if there's a hint that the hider would like to provide, you can put that in there too. And then it gets into, when the hider's ready with that, they hit save and then submit. And it's you have to click it twice, pro tip. Or save, and then you hit submit. It's not a save and submit button. And then it goes to the reviewer. Me. And then I check it through our little rubric that we have. Did someone forget to name it? Is there grammatical boo-boos in the description? Did they, are they hiding it that's in a place that's too difficult, or in a place that doesn't allow things like that? It's similar parameters of, please don't put them in places that are private property. Please don't put them in places that would incite concern, like a school or a post office, or, something like that.
Sure.
And so I'm checking through to make sure those little boxes are checked. And then once they are, I hit submit, and then it goes into the queue. And then again, the algorithm decides which one is best.
Cool.
Yeah. And there are ways, depending on the game, the hider can, again, depending on the game, dictate when they want the tag to be released or published, because maybe they want it published to coincide with a event that they're hosting, or they want them all to be published at 6 a.m. in the morning, or
Now you're only doing the promotions right now, though, right? Somebody can't buy an individual one just to hide for an event yet, right?
Right. You would have, if you wanted to, like the WSGA is doing that for the going 8 mega, that the coin or the tags themselves will have a very limited parameter on where they can be hidden, and then they are redeemed at the mega event. That we worked on very specifically through Snag the Tag. And it's open for anybody else who would like to do that sort of thing too. I was just chatting with someone on Instagram today who said that they were going to do the same sort of thing in July, which is really exciting.
So if some area was having a big mega or something like that, they could contact Snag the Tag. Or maybe some podcast that likes to do crazy stuff all the time wanted to do some kind of promotion. They could.
That's a great idea.
Wonder what kind of show would do that kind of thing.
They'd have to be fools to do that.
Fools for sure.
Fools for sure.
But no doubt.
That's a possibility in the future, though, right? That people could do something like that for an event.
Yes, exactly. And in fact, in the fall, we did the tag haunts. And
show that one too, Jessie.
Yeah, so these are the little tags that were hidden. These soul catchers, which are so cool. And the best part is, though, anything that's white on here glows in the dark, which is
cool. That's awesome.
Nice.
And they're ferrous, so that means you can they attach them with magnets to the underside of lights and stuff like that. Which for a really cool hiding location.
Sweet.
And then you could redeem your tag. You can keep your tag, but you redeem it for your coin at an event. And the one the one we
okay.
had here is it's called the Nightmare in Preston, and it's been going on for years. And it was a really cool event that has been going on for a while, but it had this added bonus element that
Right.
if you found a soul catcher, you could come and get your coin. And the coin looks
Here's
like
the
this.
coin.
This is the front here.
That's so
And
awesome.
you can see the hand which holds the skull.
Oh,
And
that's
there's
cool.
a
Fits.
little magnet on the back, and you can discover that
Yes.
if anybody wants to go for it. And so then, the skull sits in there
It
with a
fits
magnet.
perfectly in the
Yep.
part of the. There you
So
go.
cool.
That
And
is
it all
crazy.
glows. And
Oh wow, that's incredible.
if you're a big GeoCoin collector fan and
Yeah,
you're a collectionist, then
absolutely.
gotta have them all. One of the things that they do is make different metal platings and different versions of these. So there's a supporter version and the hider version and the finder version and all that sort of thing. And you can go into the shop, which is along the bar at the top, and get the special editions that are game supporters.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so right.
is
So
cool.
so if you're just interested in adding to your collection, you can be a supporter
Exactly.
and buy a coin. Oh, that's
What?
there's-
There's nobody that just buys coins. Nobody does that.
of course not.
I don't
Who would
know
ever
anybody
do?
who does that.
Who would ever just get coins?
I know I don't have a shelf full of hundreds of them.
Shelf full of coins of
Oh yeah.
these, yeah, but
Yeah, exactly. And there's some other cool swag items, like I have my little ninja pin here.
yes.
And then I brought my
That's
Tag
awesome.
Haunts t-shirt.
Oh yeah, very cool. Tag haunt. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's way cool. And so that you can engage in the game in so many different ways. Like you were saying, you could be a hider, you can be a finder, you can just be a supporter. You can watch it unfold on social media. But that's a great way to know when the games are coming out. The in-house games, the games that Snag the Tag runs, like the Ninja game. If you just either set notifications or follow Snag the Tag on Facebook, they're really good at letting everybody know when the new stuff is coming. And right now is the Master Hider Ninja game. You can sign up to be a hider now, and that will be over the summer.
Oh,
so I think we should tell people how to sign up, because I know that they're dying to know now. How would they sign up to be a Master Ninja Hider?
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Are you flipping over to the?
I can do that right now.
Well, you can.
Okay.
While he's doing that, Jesse, let me ask you about the. So let's say I'm out there and I hear about one and I actually go and I find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There's a code, and then I know I'd go to the website and there's plenty of information about it, but just for people to know the process. So I would then provide you, or I'd provide the Snag the Tag folks the code and where I found it.
Yes, you go online and then you when you're looking at that map, you find the tag that you looked for, and then see how this is the apprentice backpack here, and he wears it, which is pretty cool. It has a little number right here so that you can verify that. And then this isn't the trackable part, of course. This here is the trackable part, but this one is just a code that you can claim it online, similar to when you're discovering a trackable. And you have to put in the code to verify, yep, this is the one that I found.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get on to So for people who want to be involved in the next game, the game coming up, I would go to the website, and where would I go next, Jesse, to sign up?
Take a look here. I want to make sure that I am guiding us correctly, so I don't send us astray.
Yep. No problem.
Yeah. You can ask me something else while I'm getting
That's okay. Go to games.
Yep.
There it is. Join a game, get there first, find the tag, renew upcoming games. It shows the next
Yep.
game there.
There it is.
Okay.
Yep, the Urban Ninja Master. And so when you
Urban Ninja
click
Master.
on that, there's the place where you can set up the alerts. And yeah.
So there's the
You're gonna
alerts.
start
So
32
click on that.
days. Right.
And it gives you the parameters there of how you want to do it.
New alert.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can set up an alert for certain,
Their tags
certain
are published,
game-
tags are claimed, or tags are marked missing.
and you can put like so I figured, radius, like,
Mhm.
how many miles you want to be watching. Okay. Now, if I want to buy one, if I want to hide one in this next round,
Mhm.
do I go to the shop and buy it?
No, let's see. It looks like, let's see, in all my notes, it just says go online, which is not super helpful, but we know at least.
Right.
And that's usually what I just say to people, go online, and then it is found. Let me find it really specifically. The
That's
shop
fine.
has the supporter stuff.
Oh, that's
I'll show
support
that
stuff.
while
Okay.
you're pulling that up. I'll show that. There's the Ninja Pin. How cool is that?
It's very cool. I love that. I love they're selling the items as well, because
Oh, you can
that
get the
way,
tracking. Look at that. It's the glow in the dark skull.
yeah, you can get, so you can kind of, so if you missed out, I guess in a sense, if you want to be a supporter, you can go online to the shop and you can get, because if you're looking for like one of like the Soul Catcher one, that's something that
Those are pretty neat.
yes.
So the web page you're looking for to sign up is when you're looking at the master one, it's master.snagthetag.com, and when you initially sign on, it's /map. You want /hider sign up.
Oh, okay. There you go. So Memphis, go to that. Yeah.
I'm going to that now. We'll put that in our page.
And
not
we
found.
posted it all over social media too. So if you go to
there you go.
snagthetag.com on Facebook and like the page, or you can go through Instagram on all our social media.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's all on there.
Sweet.
Did I HIDERSIGNUP all one word?
Yes.
Try it again.
I must be typing that in wrong. It's not working for me.
.php. That's probably the rather than dot. Snagthetag.com /hidersignup.php.
/. We're working on it.
It's too much prep. Hider sign up or snagthetag.com /hidersignup.php.
Yeah. Yep. And we've shared it. If you were to just go to Facebook and go to Snag the Tag there, there's links all over our social media.
Okay. For some reason, I'm having trouble pulling that up. So it's too much pressure live online to find a new website.
It's okay.
So
now
we'll put that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, we'll get that in the show notes. So how long does that, how long will that game, I know they all have different lengths, but how long will that game run, do you think, Jessie?
I believe that one's going through mid-July.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
It says May 31st through July 14th.
Perfect.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
So people can still go and sign up and still try to become hiders, right?
Sorry, say that one more time.
So people still have the time to go and sign up and become hiders for that game.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It is not too late. This is the perfect time to do it.
Is there a limit to how many people can do it? Is it like first come, first serve, or?
It is first come, first serve. There is a limited number of hider packets out there.
Oh, so hurry.
Yes.
Hurry, people. Do it now.
Hurry. Let them know you heard about it on our show, just so that they'll tell you thank you. But it would be good. It'd be cool to people to mention that, because I think it would help all of us kind of know that, it meant something to them that we had the show. So
yeah,
let them know. We'll have some information in the show notes about that. But we're going to get into some potentially advanced stuff that we're kind of want to talk about. But before we do that, let's talk, if you would, about the relationship with geocaching.com and your plans for the Project 8 Mega and how that kind of came about, if you would, please.
Yeah. Like I was saying, it's lovely to have HQ nearby, and HQ is a supporter of this game so far.
Mhm.
You know, it
Yeah.
just makes people want to get out there. It makes people want to host events
Oh, yeah.
these are all just trackable coins. They're trackable on geocaching.com, and
That's awesome.
yeah. So yeah, it's great so far, and it doesn't conflict geocaching, and it doesn't make you it doesn't make you want to not go geocaching. So that's
Right.
probably one of the best pieces about it. And this year Spot the Ape, which is the game that we play over here in Washington to get ready for the Going Ape Mega,
Right.
will be run through Snag the Tag. And so there will be different hiders, and hider packets will be available. That's a new exciting twist this year, that it was
Cool.
usually the Washington State Geocaching Association board and friends who were hiders and other assorted mysterious
Right.
folks out there. But
Mysterious.
this year we will
love it.
we'll be offering hider packets for folks to be able to hide them.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
then when you join in, there will be a team element where you're earning points, and you can, as you find them and as you hide them, which is a new
cool.
fun thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is awesome. That's a great idea to kind of augment what because the being the 10th anniversary, it's kind of cool that that you folks are tweaking it a little bit and adding something as cool as Snag the Tag to the event.
Well, I think you touched on something that's really important too, especially for our audience, but for geocachers. It's not a replacement. It's not something separate than geocaching. It's an enhancement to geocaching. It's something to go along with the game. And Gary and I both, because we do this podcast and because this is kind of how we are, we always try out any new geolocation game that comes out, any new thing like that, because that's just part of what we do. And Gary has stuck with them longer than I have on some of the other ones, but I'm pretty fiercely loyal to geocaching. It has nothing to do with the fact that I've tattooed it on my body or anything, but I'm fiercely loyal to the game, and anything that I don't have any problem with any other games, but anything that takes me away from this, I just figure I'll let somebody else do that. It's just kind of something to the side. Everything I do, if it's not tied in directly to geocaching, it's kind of a different hobby for me. Mm-hmm. This one is part of geocaching. It's not like you're sending somebody somewhere else. These are geocoins. These are actual through geocaching.com. This is part of the game. And the other big thing is, one of the big things, especially around here, I don't know what it's like everywhere, but around here, people are FTF crazy. They're just insane about it. Like, I've met a lot of cachers here at an FTF. Mm-hmm. Like, they come sliding up. They're running through the fields and stuff like that. And we have ones in the mountains, and you'll meet them out there, FTF. But geocaching has struggled for a long time to find a way to reward or that part of the game, because you can't even track it because it's so weird the way, because there's no official FTF thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get anything for it. Although people like run and climb and drive in the middle of the night to do this part of the game, but there's never been a way to reward it. So that competitive part is kind of part I'm really into. So
exactly. Wow.
People need to start hiding these jokers near me, because I'm going to be going out and I'm racing everybody to get to them. I'm going to have a whole collection, and I'm going to rub it in everybody's face. Look at all these I got. Bam. So this is great to me that this is not – now, we cover everything, and we do fair coverage to other games and stuff like that, but this is part of geocaching. So I think you touched on that, and I think that's going to be very important for people to hear this.
Yeah.
This is going to be an exciting competition that goes along with the game. It's not taken away from it. So –
and it gets tangible to the FTF, just like you said. Like, I have the street cred right here, and things like that.
Well, I can see people displaying them prominently for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the coins are trackable through geocaching.com. I mean, they're obviously cool with it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's part of it. I mean, that's what's great about it. So, all right. So we had some, Jessie, Memphis had some crazy ideas. So, I know we're going to hit you up with these, Jessie, and I know some of it's going to be like, what? But we want to at least think about it, and maybe this is some things you can take back to the brain trust at Snag the Tag. But
Yeah,
here's some ideas that we thought would be cool to add.
I'm getting too
So
sunny here.
So, and I think this is pretty cool too, because we're kind of getting in. I know it's been around for about a year now, but it's really going to start getting popular. And they're going to be experimental with what you're adding to it. So that's always neat when we get involved. We're 10 years down the road on the ape. We're 20 years down the road on geocaching. So you don't see a lot of things that come in new. So it's kind of exciting that you're still expanding what you're thinking. So,
Right.
so the first one that was hidden was that I got to hide was you just put the coordinates, some easy pictures, and intentionally it was supposed to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have plans to change those up? Like maybe, like I'm thinking puzzle style where they get to an area and then maybe you give them a riddle or something.
Ooh, yes. Love that idea. Yeah, the sky is the limit, with the themes and with the parameters for hides. One of the minds, the people behind Snag the Tag are puzzle masters. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were some puzzle aspects to this game in the future.
very
cool. So here's another idea. So for an event, and I know we have one particular person. I can't even see the chat room right now because I keep switching my screens. He's probably going crazy. We have a guy that just happens to be very good at building puzzle boxes. So that got me to thinking, will there ever be an opportunity for that? Like it's one at an event and there's some kind of puzzle box and people get a chance to, whether it's random, so everybody has a chance to do it or something like that. Could you see something like that in the future where people are able to kind of incorporate the gadget cache kind of concept to it?
Yeah, we in fact had someone, I believe it was for GeoCoin Fest, I believe, their tag that they hid that included a video, and you had to watch the video for where they were going and what they were doing so that you knew what to do rather than reading a description, which was super innovative. That was something they did on their own,
cool.
which was really fun. But yeah,
Yeah,
something
that's awesome.
along that line of that little extra step rather than go there, find the thing, even though go there and find the thing is still pretty fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what we all do, right? Go there and find the thing. That's
Exactly.
That's right.
And maybe even in the future, as they evaluate like the augmented reality geocaching, is that something y'all thought about using augmented reality to go with this?
Yeah,
Like the video.
the WSJ last year for the Going Ape event actually used that for the lab caches. And so we've got some experience in the community for playing with some of those and looking at what those could be. I think that's a great idea and a great way to add a little extra to the game, especially when that really adds to the theme. Can you imagine like a ninja theme, and you have to like deal with a ninja coming at you or something before you can find it? That would be pretty fun.
Exactly.
I think there's a lot of possibilities here with it. And I hope it catches on so I can go find one, obviously. So
Well,
I need people in my area to really get into it. So
Yeah.
Exactly. I liked your other comment or other note, Jesse, you had in here because I didn't think about this or something we need to talk about, which is terrain and difficulty. So let's say that it meets all the parameters. So I mean, it's not in private property. You know what I'm saying? It's a good spot.
Mhm.
Is in a sense the sky the limit on where it can be placed?
It could be. I mean, there could be maybe a two different streams of there's this type of hide or this type of game that's this level of hide or maybe this other game. It's all T5 T5s. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I like that idea.
That'd be intense, super fun. They it's
on top of a bridge. I can see Memphis now getting on top of
I have a lot of 14ers I can hike to. Just let me know.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine a tag at the top of a 14er?
I can absolutely imagine that.
Super extreme.
It would be. But if you're first, you'd be like, well, that would just be incredible.
Sky's the limit, right?
I mean, long as it's safe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like I said, the, geocaching groups or just someone who is really interested to add an exciting element to their event can easily contact snagthetag.com and start a discussion, start the ball rolling and start the gears turning about what possible ideas could be and what this could possibly look like. There's some really creative people back there who have just tons and tons of ideas and would love to see them come to fruition and would love to work with people on them.
Oh my gosh, I could sit here and list ideas all night long. This sounds cool. I'm getting excited.
Good.
Well, I hope there's a category and somebody mentioned, and because I like the extreme stuff, I always try to balance and think. Like geocaching does a great job of having a specific icon just for handicap accessible. So I hope that, even though I love hanging off a bridge and doing stupid things, I still want it to be open and accessible to everybody. So I hope it doesn't get skewed. And I like the fact that y'all said this one needs to be easier to find, accessible to everybody. And not to mention with events, it seems like a great thing for CETOs. That's one of the positive things for geocaching. So you go to the CETO and you get a chance to, somebody at that CETO is going to get a chance to find this tag. I mean, it's adding to that incentive. There's so many things it's going to enhance for geocaching. So
exactly. That's a great point. Yeah.
Yep.
This is going to be great. I love it.
Yep. All right. Before we get to final thoughts, Jessie, is there anything from else as you scroll through the chat room? And thank you, chat room, for being there to discuss this with us. But is there anything, Memphis, that you know of that?
No, it's most of them are answering a question. They were kind of going along with how do I get signed up, and our chat room is great because they answer each other back and forth even before we can get to it. A lot of times, there's some really involved people in the chat room that are really good in the game, and before you can even get to them, have time like go to this, go to that, and you're signed up.
There you go.
They're basically running the show just simultaneous to us, just at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah.
The village.
Yeah,
that's right. It does.
It does. They're so great to for the show. Really enhance things. So, all right. So we'll start with Jessie. So Jessie, not Memphis. Tell us, kind of give some final thoughts about your experiences being part of this now, being a reviewer, and just what are some final thoughts you want to let people know about Snag the Tag?
Yeah. We're so excited to see all of the stories that roll in and hear all of the, even if the find itself is a quick one, we had someone travel 500 miles or kilometers to get one once. And
wow, that's awesome.
People try for 5 different tags before they got one because someone got there right before them, and it's unending, the joy and the fun that comes from this, and all the different themes. The themes really add a lot of life to it because, like we said, going there, finding the thing, that's really fun. But if it's the couple that I hid of the soul catcher, we went to a 24-hour access cemetery and hid it in there. And we went to a place that was near an asylum and hid it there. And, it's like an old run, former asylum. It really, the themes themselves add a lot to the game as well, just like themes of geocaches do. And we can't wait to work with people and find out what their ideas are and help promote events like megas and other smaller events or CETOs, like you said. Can't wait to see where everyone takes this.
I did think of another question while you were giving your final thoughts. So, is it international? Can you do it anywhere in the world? Or
yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
because we have a lot of international folks listen to the show and watch the show, but many of them are. And so you could be in Czech Republic or Finland or Norway or anywhere, and they could put one. Okay, cool.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, great. Fabulous. All right. Memphis, you actually got to hide one and probably had obviously much more experience than me. I got to just sort of watch from the side, but tell everyone about kind of your final thoughts and your experience with this.
So I've only been on the hiding side so far. I haven't been on the finding side, although I've got to watch for all of Colorado. So if one's hidden, I'm going. I'll be racing. I'd rather not get another ticket, but whatever. So I'm excited about it because it's been around for a little while, but I think it's getting more popular now. And, I hate that I'm so late to the game on this, but, we can't do everything all the time. But and I think Jessie said it right. She's kind of excited to see where it goes. Well, anytime you introduce a new tool to geocachers, just like we were talking about it before the show, they're going to take it and run with it, and you'll be so surprised what people can do with these things. So I think this is one of those. It's going to be a tool like Project GC and Cachly, and you're surprised every time when you find somebody using a tool that you're already using, and they're doing something totally different with it. So I think this will be the same. People go, well, what about this? And what about this? And the ideas will just come out, and I think this will be a good thing, and is a good answer to that. I don't say FTF problem, but the problem of being able to reward those FTF hunters, because there's people that really, there's a magazine named after it. There's all kind, people wear shirts. I mean, people are into the FTF stuff. So this is finally a way to reward that group of crazy cachers. So I think it'll be good. Plus, not just that, it'll be, events, and people from all walks of life will be able to go after these, depending on how the campaign is kind of set up. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah. And, really anywhere in the world. So that's really cool. I mean, there's like you said, there's so many cool things that can come about as this continues to grow, and as we get through each series. Like you said, I think it's really neat to see where it's gone so far, and the great things that are even coming up. And it's exciting to see, what's going on with Project Ape, and with this game that's coming up this summer, and people can be involved in many different ways. So that's really cool. So fabulous. All right. Well, Jessie, thank you so much for being on tonight with us.
Thank you for having me. It was a treat.
Good. It was for us too. We enjoyed hearing about this crazy game that I'm so glad we've been able to be involved with for a little bit, and look forward to more times together, being able to be part of it and to promote it, and see where it's going to go. So we're excited. Geocache Talk is on board. So very excited for that. Yeah. Okay. Quickly, upcoming shows. Next week, we're going to talk about Memphis's new book, the Challenge book. We have a special guest. Jeff May is going to be with us. Cache the Line is going to be with us to discuss the challenge aspects of the book, and what we're going to look forward to in reading, and looking forward to that. Been a labor of love for Memphis and the CFO as well.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Memphis Mafia. So looking forward to that. And then in 2 weeks, I did confirm again. So this is good. So Memphis, you're going to love this. I confirmed that Josh Boggs will be on. He'll be available this time. We had to move the show around a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But they did their augmented reality cache run, and they were able to do this AR cache that's based on Smoking the Bandit. I don't think they did a whole truckload of Coors beer back to Georgia with that, but I think that they had a great time doing this, and we'll talk a little bit about AR, and hopefully geocaching.com will, go gangbusters with AR and continue with that. And then in 3 weeks, I do want to mention on May 19th, Treasure is back. Yes, Treasure. There's the coin for Treasure, just to kind of show you the coin. But Treasure the movie is back. I still have my movie poster back behind me, right back here, folks. Is the let's see if I can show you. There's the full. Okay, I see it. There's my movie poster of Treasure. So Chris Williamson, the director, will be back on the show, and we're also going to have a couple of the actors who are in the movie. I know Shanice Jordan. I talked to her. She's excited. She's going to be back on the show. We had her on before. She's Sierra. She plays sort of, I wouldn't say a villain. Would you say a villain, Memphis? But she's kind of the friend that's not really much of a friend.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to go. She goes geocaching with Erica in the show or in the movie. But the funny part about it was after we had her on, she went geocaching. We coaxed her into going geocaching, and we had her go, and she found one put on Instagram, and it was just funny that we were able to be involved with her finding her
Are
first.
we given the reason why we're talking about treasure again, or are we not given that yet?
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that. We'll mention that here in a second. So, and the other thing is Ansley. I'm hoping Ansley will be on. Ansley's a maybe. Ansley Gordon played Erica in the movie, but yeah, let's talk why we're talking about treasure again. The reason is because treasure has not been available. It's not been the distribution of the movie sort of ended for a little bit as Chris worked on getting a more massive distribution. And so he is able now, it's coming out basically right when the movie, when the show comes out, we're going to be able to talk about treasure being available on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either watch it on there or you can buy it. And so he's got this great distribution deal with Amazon. And so, because for a while their treasure has not been available for purchase, so it's back, and we'll talk to Chris and the folks from Treasure about that. So really looking forward to them being on and talking about the movie again, because a lot of people haven't seen it yet. I'm sort of surprised,
People
but then again,
out.
yeah, and some people, of course, have been asking to purchase it, and they haven't been able to purchase it lately. So anyway, all right, we hope you enjoy the show tonight. Email us your comments at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is facebook.com/geocachetalk. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button below and hit the little bell so that it reminds you about the show and when it's on. We're usually on Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time, but we never know. Once in a while, we'll do a pop-up show, and you'll get notified if you've got your little subscription or little notification bell clicked. So please do that. Tell people about the show. Invite them to be a part of it. Chat room, different ways to be involved, and it really means a lot to us to let that you're sharing the love of Geocache Talk with other folks. So, all right. Well, until next week, don't just talk about geocaching. You need to go sign up for Snag the Tag, snagthetag.com, and sign up and become a hider and get your packet and everything, because it's time. The next game is here, and that's right.
Master Ninja.
Is it the
Master Ninja?
Right. The Master Ninja. It's time to get signed up and to hide one and have some fun and get your login and get ready for this next game because it's coming up. So, all right. And then after that, while you're snagging a tag, I'm sure there's some caches around there so you can go geocaching as well. So, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.